And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Oh, I'm sneaking me some candy. Yeah, that's right. You go. Soretta's is a local candy manufacturer in Glendale, Arizona here, and you know, if you don't buy them by the box, yeah, you big heart shape and everything. Wherever you take a piece of candy, not only do you never know what you're gonna get, you know, you leave a nice big hole that your sweetheart goes, hey, yo, you've been scarfing, you know. But if you get them a bag and you get all kinds of goodies and everything, you can just pick at it and get what you want. Well, I get me some marshmallow kind of praline, you know, pecan caramels. I love Valentine's Day because I get candy. Well, we went today, did that, and we were getting cards and so on. As I'm coming in, I find out that my daughter-in-law's mother, Carol, is in the hospital, and she's not doing well at all. She's been a diabetic for a long time, and she's a baby nurse. She helped deliver both of my grandchildren, and she's, because of her poor circulation and so on, she did something to her toe. She had bumped it and broke it or something, and it was bothering her for a day or two. And then she got cellulitis, which is, I guess, an infection. And all of a sudden, her whole foot swelled up while she's at work at the hospital. And she had to walk over to emergency rooms like, hey, you know, what up? Within a day or two, they amputated her big toe. Gave her a lot of antibiotics and so on. And then she was having bad circulation. It wasn't helping her foot. So they put a stent in the blood vessels in her leg, and that improved that. And now then her blood sugar went up over 700 and something. And it's supposed to be down in the low hundreds or whatever. And she takes medication. Well, they keep messing around with her at the hospital. You know, I'll tell you this. I got to say this on the record. She was in the hospital for 10 days. They didn't change her sheets once. This is a nurse in a hospital. And, of course, they're going to have a big, giant, humongous bill. They're going to have whatever and those kind of stuff. And I'm going, and he didn't get, all of a sudden, they weren't taking care of her. They weren't checking anything. All of a sudden, her blood sugar shoots up. They check it. Oh, my goodness, it's over 700. How are you even conscious? So they, you know, put her in ICU, and they start playing, you know, we spent, our family, between all of us, we spent a lot of time down there over the last week or two. And I'm going, you know, this healthcare system is so sucky. Now, we could do better ourselves. And I remember, if you see on my arm here, you'll see like a graph. You know, I have a different color. I was burned really bad in 94. It's a gas thing. I was working on my car. Long story. But we went, and I got good care. You know, I didn't have a problem with that. But what happened is we could not leave the hospital. And the bill, you know, the operation, everything under $10,000. Done. Get out. All the money that racked up to like $60,000 bill was because they would not allow us to have morphine outside the hospital or the IV of penicillin. Because when you get burned, you're really susceptible to infection and so on. You need have a antibiotic drip. So, you know, the pain I could deal with. Now, we were like, well, you know, we'll kind of do. I mean, that sucks, and it's a pain in the butt, and you got to go in a saline salt bath and kind of let the bandage and stuff kind of float off, and then you rewrap, and it's a pain in the butt. I mean, you look like raw bacon. But so I'm going, you know, this is we can do this. We want to keep the bill down. Well, we had libertarian friends that done fundraisers. They do like a USO show, the old big band, trombones and saxophones, and everything. We had done different functions, and they're going, yeah, we're going to do fundraisers. They're going to do fundraisers. And all of this, we just need to get out of the hospital. Can't. Because we could not take the IV penicillin, you're going to die because you can't take penicillin at home. Die. Done. Got to be here. Rack up the bill. So I've never, from that experience and with, you know, friends and family and parents, and I have never had anything good to say about a health care system except for the technology. But when you have all this technology, what do? Well, it's only through the doctor-funded kind of co-op consortium of in the building approved by kind of crap. You know, you never just, you know, go on Craigslist, who's got an MRI machine, let's go check it out. I mean, heck no. because they're protecting the industry. When you have one of their own, a baby nurse, no less, in there in 10 days without changing the sheets, blood sugar goes over 700, if that's even freaking possible. I mean, their meters, their little test things only went to 500. They go, it's 500 plus. So they were like, what the heck? They had to go to the lab and find out how, I'm like, and she's conscious. Of course, she's, been diabetic for, I guess she's usually just starts mumbling, blah, 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 So now it's starting to see your kidneys are starting to fail. Now she's in ICU. This morning, she's talking to my daughter-in-law about where the wills are. The will's over here and papers over there and insurance, kind of, and paying bills. And it's starting to get serious. So our family, it's Valentine's Day, so we're going down after the show, and she can be all our Valentine. So it'll be as we find out what's going on, and she's in bad health, been diabetic, but she's working right up until her infection. So it's things like this that have so many people in such a opposition to government regulation and licensing that it brings to mind the story of Red October. Now, Red October, the movie with Sean Connery, is about a super high-tech, quiet submarine that he defects to bring to the U.S. because he knows it's a first strike vehicle and he doesn't want to, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's one of these Tom Clancy books, and I read the book back in the day when I used to have time to read. And the Hunt for Red October, the Sean Connery character, it starts before he actually, gets on the submarine and comes here. And where it started was, in the Soviet Union, his wife was sick, and she needed antibiotic, was all she needed to be cured. It was, give her some penicillin, problem solved. Because of the Soviet system, because of the central plan, because of we're going to, we'll make whatever we need for 5-year kind of, we think, and kind of do whatever the heck system that they thought they had, some bureaucrats could plan how much penicillin should be made. There was a shortage, and there was nothing they could do. They couldn't find any antibiotics anywhere during that short time when it made a difference, a day or two. His wife died for lack of quality health care in a Soviet system, and he's one of the high-end guys. That is what turned him in the book. In the book, he's going, look, this system doesn't work. If my wife's dying from simple lack of antibiotics, we got some issues. And it goes way back to so questioned everything. The Soviet Union building a first strike machine with the Red October, was the name of the submarine, is because of the anniversary of the revolution or whatever. For them to have a first strike vehicle go and kill an economy that is providing medicine for their people, as messed up as that is, here. But that's why he decided, no, I'm not supporting the system anymore, to the point of being the submarine commander of the most advanced vehicle underwater on the planet, and the big giant Uber, we're going to kick butt. He turns it over to the United States. Don't ever think that there aren't human beings like that everywhere, all over the planet, for exactly the same types of reasons. There are loved ones and people close to you that die because of licensing and regulation and limited access and expense and anything that serves somebody else other than the people it's supposed to, and do not ever think that that's not going to play in the decisions that are coming. In fact, that's exactly what's going on throughout the Middle East. Exactly. Their lives, their standard of living, their very capacity to keep breathing in and out is affected by government. So I'm going in a positive way or negative way. In every experience that they have, negative. Well, that's what's happening here too, and it starts hitting close to our family. We're a little bit more sensitive to these things and what happens and quality of and why and expense because, you just get older, you start having, I'll give you a good example. Young activists here, Andrew and Gwen, lovely people, very good friends of ours, that we often have them, over just to hang out, watch movies. Now, Gwen, she's probably in her early 20s, she's probably 24, I think, and she has diabetes. It is so expensive, and it doesn't get covered. You have to buy it. It's so expensive that they live for her to live. Can you imagine that? Live for her to be able to live. That's what they do, to be able to purchase this medicine that should be very cheap. But it's not. Why? We'll talk about Egypt when we come back with my guest, Lisa Hajjar, here in just a little bit. She's a professor in California. We'll be right back. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.